Are you considering buying your first home but have questions regarding the process? Well, sit back as we do our best to answer your questions and give you a sneak peek into what that process will look like. In part one of this series, we mentioned that most web pages and home buying guides have understanding your budget as their part one. If you missed our part one, you can watch it here. But David and I believe that you really need to assess the situation and identify the minimum needed requirements for your home before starting these remaining steps.
Casey wanted me to join in the conversation since we'll be discussing most people's least favorite part of the process, understanding how much home you can afford. It's never as fun as spending the day looking at properties. However, it's a necessary part of the process, as we would hate to show you your dream home only to learn later that you couldn't afford it. So where last time we talked about setting the minimums, this time we're talking about setting the maximums, the maximum limit of your purchasing ability.
As a rough estimate of what you can afford, most lenders will tell you you should not spend more than 28% of your pre-tax income on a home payment. But as I said, that's a rough estimate. You need to take other factors into consideration. Like, what is the current state of your credit and can you improve it?
Free credit monitoring services are a great way to look at your current balances, and many banks will give you a free FICO score. Now is a great time to pull those numbers and keep track of them as you move forward.
Start keeping up with mortgage rates. A higher mortgage rate equals less home for the buyer.
Start looking at a budget for savings. You're going to need money set aside to buy this house. If any realtor tells you during a conversation that they can usually negotiate to get the seller to pay for your closing costs, take that with a grain of salt, because nothing is guaranteed in real estate, and you would really hate to get to that point and not have your closing costs saved up and find out that that realtor could not get that negotiated.
Get pre-qualified, not pre-approved. Speak to a mortgage lender and specify that you do not want a hard credit inquiry at this time, that you are shopping your note and very early in the process. A soft inquiry generally does not impact your credit score. In step 5 of this series, we will discuss selecting the lender and realtors, but now is a great time to get to know some local lenders.
For a list of all lenders affiliated with our local MLSs, just shoot me an email and I will send you the entire list for you to review.
There are also some great online tools and calculators that we can send as well. And if you prefer talking to me,
well, most people do,
send me an email and I will send you the links to some great resources.
We know that this step is most people's least favorite, but is also one of the most important steps in the process.
If you want to learn more about buying your first home, check out part 3 of this series.